Hi everyone, I'm Rachel. In this tutorial, I'll teach you how to create a dramatic and mysterious scene using the Color Therapy app. Some simple ways of making any scene look more mysterious are by creating a vignette to highlight a certain area, adding fog and sparkles, or using unnatural lighting. Now, if you want to follow along with me, you can find this image under Thematics, Enchanted Forest. The first thing I want to do is color everything in a very, very dark, almost black. So under shades of gray, I'm going to use the darkest color there and just have to fill in pretty much everything. Also just leave my figure how she is. Now using a basic black, I am going to fill in the background. So just zooming in, it's going to be the area between the trees there and top to fill it in the top as well. Now let's do a little bit of shading. So select the airbrush tool, set the size to 60 and opacity at 25. Make sure coloring inside the lines is turned on. Now let's imagine that our structure here is going to have glowing light coming from it. So what we want to do is shade everything around it. So for example, this tree on the left side, I'm going to shade it black. So it's lighter on the right side of the tree. So you want to do that for all of your trees and all of your elements. Even these rocks too. So shade them with the black. And then for something like the steps, you're going to shade those as well. It's going to be darker on the bottom of the steps. And the structure is going to be the darkest at the top and kind of fade down. Now let's start to add in the color. So go over to the summer palette. I'm going to use this bright neon turquoise green color. Set the airbrush to size 15 and opacity 10. Now we're going to highlight the whole area. Just keeping in mind that the brightness is going to come from the structure. You can start to add it into the tops of the steps and the tops of the rocks and the tops of all of the bushes and all the trees and everything that's facing the structure. Do the same thing on the other side with the trees as well. Add all of your highlights into the right side of each element. And don't forget to add it into the trees in the background too. For the structure itself, I'm just going to add a little bit of a highlight on each part of the curved roof. So on the columns, just bring it down on the left side and the right side, and it'll be darker on the middle of the columns. Now lower the size all the way down to 1 and then just add a few of these detail lines. For example, on the trees that are really close to the structure, it's going to be a bit brighter. So just draw in a little bit of, you could draw details like bark. And also for the grass, you can add in little strokes here and there, just to add some details. Same with on the rocks, just little bumps and things like that. Now let's add the glow inside the structure. With the airbrush tool, set the size to 60 and opacity at 30. Zoom into our structure and then you're going to add a really nice bright glow coming from the middle and just sort of fading outwards. You can make it as bright as you want. I'm also going to add a little purple to it from the Urban Art palette. So that light purple, and just add a little bit into the top of it. And then I'll use white and add it into the very middle and make it really bright. So now it has a really nice glow. Then to really make those columns pop out, I would select black, set the airbrush size to about 8, and opacity can be at 35. And in the middle of those columns, just make it really dark, so we have a lot of contrast using black. Now let's add some little sparkles with the pen tool. Set the size to 100, and you can use between size 1 and 2. And with that turquoise color, you can add in little dots just all around. I would turn coloring inside the lines mode to off. You can even bring the dots down the steps a little bit. Lastly, let's add a little bit of fog. So use the spray tool for that. We'll set the size at 45 and opacity at 20. Make sure coloring inside the lines mode is off and just using your finger add in a little bit of fog. So I'm kind of bringing this fog down the steps a little bit and in between the trees and around the bushes. Here's the final image with the lines removed and shading added to the figure. You can find my tutorial on how to shade a figure with mysterious light as well. If you'd like to see more tutorials like this, don't forget to subscribe to the Color Therapy YouTube channel so you don't miss any new tutorial videos. Thanks for watching our tutorial. You can get the Color Therapy app for free on the App Store.